What's up, everybody? Welcome to another wonderful episode on the Off Balance podcast, where dance meets dialogue, where movements meet meaning. So today it's another wonderful. It's one of those episodes where you need to grab a pen, get a paper, and jot things down. Because today we are going to try as much as we can to ask questions, listen, take out a lot from this legend, this leader, this templates that a lot of us are beginning to try and follow, And so much to say, so much to say, so much to take out from our own presido. We call him president. We call him, is he known as Uriade? That's what everybody calls him. This is somebody that I met randomly. I was working with a friend. In fact, you all know him, Valu. And he was having a conversation with Valu, not even with me. I haven't even met him yet. So Valu just had a quick intro. So, hi, when you just meet somebody and just say, what's up? I'm sure he can't even remember. But he was having a conversation with Valu. And then I just listened to, I think just 2 lines. I'm like, wait, who is this man that could spell out wisdom with just 2 lines? And for me, I went home, and till today, I cannot forget that line that he said, to Valu. That he was talking with somebody else, and I was just picking up all of the gems on what was being said. Thank you so much for coming to the podcast,
Pleasure.
Mr. Oriade. Oriade!
Yes, so delighted to be here.
Hey, thank you so much. I don't even know how to put myself, because this is it's a privilege to have one of the pioneers, one of the when talking about the custodians of people who have helped us preserve this thing that we are all doing. The path that we want to go to, he has shown us that you can try it this way, and it's actually possible. There's no way, or there's no place, or no space that you get to that people in my constituency, so to say, and when they are speaking, they will always quote Oria. They once said, someone, a mentor of mine once said, and we will know that's coming from Oriade. People like the likes of Busaya, the likes of Valu, just counts them. People that have done great stuff has gone through him. So today it's a pleasure to have him on the podcast. So I will say, welcome once again. I come out cap.
I know you down now. Delighted to be here, like I said.
Yeah, how's it been with you, sir?
Yes, here and there, but we're grateful, we're blessed, we're grateful to God.
So, I don't even know how to address you. Are you a
Oriade.
dancer? Or a dance creative? Or a dance artist? Because we don't even know. Because when you hear of Oriade, there are so many things that will come to your mind. Is he a dancer? But you see him around creatives, not just dancers, around poets, drummers, actors. We don't even know which pocket he belongs to. So we'll find out today.
Yeah.
Mm,
Well, my name is Segun Adefila, like you rightly said,
mm,
aka Oriade,
mm,
and I'm simply an artist.
mm,
So if it's arts,
mm.
that's where I am.
Okay, so is it true that you're one of the proteges of greatest writers and the greatest
Wale Soyinka.
Wale Soyinka?
Wale Soyinka is the grandfather of many of us. So
Oh,
yes, being in the kind of industry I'm in, like I said, it's about arts, it's dance, it's theater, it's poetry, it's everything that Wale Soyinka is involved in. That's what I'm involved in. So,
but how come you're more connected to dancers? What's the relation with you and the dance community, particularly?
yeah, because the background that produced me is the culture that produced me does not put art genres into compartments. So the African culture, and when I say Africa, I mean Black Africa, we put everything together. My background is in traditional masquerade. I was a child, I was a baby masquerade.
Wow.
And so if you look at an average masquerade, we have a mask on. That's by a visual artist.
Okay.
An average masquerade is a virtuoso dancer. So that's a dancer. A masquerade where I come from is supposed to be a representative of the ancestors. They call them Arorun.
Mm.
So it's a performance. It could be a child, but once you are done, and this is from personal experience,
Mm.
once you are done that toga, that regalia of the masquerade, you are transformed immediately. So for instance, in those days, as a child masquerade, my grandmother, my paternal grandmother, would meet me
Mm.
on the street and go on her knees for me and call me Baba Amiu. That's my father.
Mm.
So I'm playing the role of an ancestor. That's acting.
Mm.
You know,
Wow.
of course, you're going to chant and sing and all of this. So put all of this together. You have visual art, you have dance, you have acting, you have music. You know, of course, you have your retinue of followers, drummers, singers.
Yeah.
The masquerade leads the song.
Yeah.
The followers
Mm.
take the chorus.
Mm.
So that way, it's it just comes naturally that one is able to navigate all the genres. So say to dancers, young dancers especially, that you're first and foremost an artist. You know, dance is just that's your medium of special expression. But when you're dancing, you're no longer yourself. I mean, you being a dancer, you know what it means when you start dancing. You're no longer
Absolutely.
the cool, gentle guy you want to be. Because if if your movement expression says you have to show something that is fiery, something that's out there. Meanwhile, you are, in nature, you're a very, withdrawn person and all of those things. But when you start dancing, you become something else. That transformation is a huge process. So it transforms you from being just a dancer to something else. I mean, this is how it's not DNA. So I cannot see. I don't look at artists. I mean, you don't say, "Oh, this person is a dancer." It doesn't come together in my head. Then I can call you, "Oh, you're a dancer," but behind my head, I'm seeing a total artist.
Artist,
You
okay.
may not be able to do everything at the level you're doing dance, but you have an idea of everything.
All right. So now let me just fetch some questions now from the pool now. Now we can clearly see that you've been in this leadership position, for years now. So my first question, would be that what are the system that you have built that we can say that is still that you can look back? Probably not just look back, you can probably just turn left or turn right and it's still actively functioning up until now.
Well, first and foremost, I've never consciously intended to set up systems. I just want to live life, do what I find comfortable doing, because everything I do is a product of the experience I had. A child who was a child, and you know what being a child is. So we had you play rough play, you do all of those things, but I went through certain trajectory in life. I was not supposed. My father would not allow me to even think art, because he loved me so much that I thought that I should do something more serious in my life. So from childhood, he wanted me to be a medical doctor.
Oh, wow.
He loved it so much, and kept telling me, you're intelligent, you can be that. And then he kept pumping that into my head. But somehow, of course, the child, trying to find himself, my natural navigation was towards the arts. Like I told you, I was a child masquerade. I just loved music. I loved dancing. I loved all of those things. I had no affinity to mathematics, the backbone of, sciences, because you need to have a very good handle on mathematics to be able to solve physics, even some chemistry, equations and so on and so forth. These were not my forte. So going through all of that, knowing that there was a time where I felt I was nothing and I meant nothing, because an image has been placed in my head that I realized that I wasn't that image, and in my head it means that I was nothing. Me, Segun Adefila. There was a time in my life where I felt less than the dustbin.
Oh, wow.
Yes, because I mean, by the time I went through secondary school, I flunked my science subjects, physics, chemistry, backbone of sciences. I flunked it, I had an honorary P in mathematics and barely managed to pass the other subjects, because most of them I had to express them through writing. And I loved reading from childhood, So I was navigating towards literature.
Oh,
So when you find yourself in that kind of place, then growing up in the hood where I grew up, where there were options out there. So I grew up in Bariga, and by the time I was done with secondary school, I went to boarding school all through. My dad and I, we had, we couldn't see eye to eye any longer.
Mm.
So I moved to Bariga. Bariga offered me the opportunities that Bariga would offer a young person, and so that was there. And then the arts found me, or I found the art again. And by then I was in my early 20s, So between 7 and 10, I was a child masquerade, learning traditional,
Wow.
doing festivals and all of those things. And from 10 till that 23, apart from performing in schools, in my secondary school days, nothing about arts for me any longer. It meant nothing again. Of course, it's been killed in my heart already that if you're an artist, you're nothing, And so then art found me again, and like being given a second chance, like somebody taken from the dustbin, dusted and placed on a pedestal. I couldn't let it go again. And so everything I do from that moment onward has nothing to do with legacy, with structure. It has something to do with I see somebody and I see myself in young people. This thing happened to me. I'm not going to let it happen to this person, except the person accepts. So you can't force people to do what they want to do. But when you see people who are willing, so you don't have to look very far. I just know that my being here is for that purpose. When I see that hunger, that desire, that thirst, that sense of loss in you, I see me immediately. And what do I want us to do? I say, let's find each other. Let's go back to who we're supposed to be. And to the glory of God, I've seen people transformed. I've seen people blossom. I mean, I don't think there's any human being that can create talent. You cannot create talent. Talents are already in people. What you just do is let people find themselves. So you don't put anything in their bodies that is not there. It is so if you see a young dancer go through me, it's because the dance is in the body. If you see a young poet, it's because the poetry is in the head already. But I had mine. I didn't know how to, get it out. Nobody could sculpt it out on time.
Wow.
And it took me time, and God said, you know what? It's never too late. And the talk so now when you wake up, you're good morning. So now when I wake up with that, So that's it. So if you say look back, structures, no structure. But I just know that I've tried to say, you know what, we're in this together. Let's swim together. Let's find our feet. If I can find mine, then you can find yours.
Wow, interesting. Now you mentioned something repeatedly. I mean, a very important factor and entity. You mentioned God like 3 times. So I would love to go into that area and say what are your creed, or what is your creed? Like what are your beliefs? Are you one of those who is Christian, church, Sunday, or I just want to know.
I believe in my culture. I believe in my tradition. I believe in Isheshi. I believe in the traditions of my ancestors, the culture that produced my ancestors, because my ancestors left me a lot of amazing legacies that they had to come all over the world to come and pick from us, to come and learn from us, pick our art, steal our people, impose slavery, all this jackpot thing. They were forcing us some years ago. Were that good? They found, in fact, some Europeans came and settled on this continent. So if my ancestors that produced mortar and pestle, which was the height of technology some 5,000 years ago, if my ancestors knew the different trees that would give you furnitures, that is different from the one that you do as chewing stick, that is different from the one that you make as herbs, that is different from the one that you use as walking stick, that is different. So my ancestors knew a whole lot of things. So I'm more intrigued now in their ways than any other way. But again, I don't believe in religion, because for me, religion is just like political parties. It's like the moment you create religion, there's something suspicious about it. I think godliness is better for every one of us. I think, and these are my personal beliefs, So, I'm not in the. I grew up in a church. I come from. Being a Yoruba person, you cannot even be. You can't be rigid about religion. See the average Yoruba family, you find Christian, Muslims, and traditional,
Traditionalists and all
indigenous
of
religions there. So I do not believe. I do not get into that fold. I listen to people. I listen to teachers. So I see God in everybody. And one of the things I've learned is that God is man activated, and man is God deactivated. So when I see you, I see God. What you do with what God has given you Whether you go into crime,
Mm.
God forbid, or you decide to do the right things, I see God. Now, the higher you go, the more in my thinking, you have activated the God in you. And there are testaments even in the religious books. God said, let us create man in our own image. So I do not need, if I take that literal meaning, it may have some deeper meanings. It means that I am in the image of God. God is a maker. Of course, fortunately, I'm an artist. My head does not sit in one space. I'm seated there, I can go anywhere in the world. I'm always thinking of something, and I'm always wowed when I see amazing works already. So it's about that for me. So my religion is my art. I don't have a religion, but I believe in my maker. I believe in, attempting to do the right thing. I do not want to be cautioned by the fear of hellfire. If there's hellfire, many of us would do there. Everybody would do okay, I mean, if hellfire has to be the thing that will convince you not to do a bad thing, then there's a problem. What if they say Nigerians or black people or Africa, there's nothing like hellfire? When you live, do whatever you want to do, you die, and there's no afterlife. How would we live our lives? So these are the things that I find more important to deal with than I want to do the right thing. The kind of atrocities people commit because they want to go to paradise or to Jannah. And I'm not condemning. I'm just saying that I do not want, not any of my children would I pray to become religious. No, let religion stay on its own. Religion is nothing but binding slavery. It's just to tie you up and give you doctrines. You must be able to think. It's like the class teacher says, don't make a noise. And the class teacher leaves. And then you need a class monitor. So if that class monitor wasn't there to write your names, you'd make a noise. So you'll be disobedient. So if you're quiet because the class monitor is around, that doesn't mean you're obedient. You see the God, in every one of us. The God in us is free to make your choices. And that's why my ancestral indigenous intellectual heritage has taught me so many, so I can apply the concept of issue, who has been, demonized by cultures that do not understand anything about issue. That issue places in your hands choices. And then when you make the right choices, then you become a better person for your own good. You cannot offend God. What can you do to God? You can't do, but it's what I do against you that is a sin. There's nothing, the way I treat animals, cut down trees, defame, destroy the ecosystem, just consume and forget that I've got children. If I don't have children, my brothers have children, my sisters have children. People are coming after us. So the Chinese say the people plant trees not because they want to sit on, they know they're not going to be able to sit under the tree. But they plant it for their children. I mean, for me, that's the meaning of being alive. That's the meaning of being godly. So religion has no space in what I do. As a Yoruba person, it is iwalewa. Character is beauty. It's what you do. And if you go and check every climb, practicing that, for me, I call iwalewa, I call it meritocracy. So if you are from Edo, your child is not likely going to become anything politically in Delta. Those two states used to be one. If you are from Ondo, your child may not have any opportunity in Ekiti. The same space. But take the same child to the west, our Japa destinations. That child stands the opportunity of becoming a minister, becoming even president. Obama's father is not from the US, and become the leader of the opposition in the UK now. Her name is Kemi. You don't even have to change the name. You will retain your name. You know what they look at? They don't care where you're coming from. What can you do? Iwalewa, it's supreme anywhere in the world. So the Jew and the Arabs will sit together, because we don't have any language of laughter. We don't have any language of, hunger or anger. And when they cut us, it's the same red blood that comes from us. So you see, these are part of the doctrines that religion will put into your head. Other, if you're not this way, then you are that way.
That way.
So I don't care whether you're a good person, whether you are generous, but you are an Arab No, I don't want you around me. I
Mm.
don't care whether you are a very kind-hearted person. You
Mm.
are Igbo. I will not give you my house in my Yoruba land. It doesn't. You understand?
Mm.
Childish, subhuman, doctrines that have been put into our heads.
Mm.
And so me, I try to free myself from all of those things. I mean, you can't do it completely. It's
Yeah.
always there hanging in the air.
Mm.
But the consciousness that those things exist,
Mm.
and you, especially the artist,
Mm.
you're a movement, and you must confront and
Mm.
shut those things down. That's the way to activate the God in you.
Mm. Wow, amazing. Now you've said two stuff now that I picked from Jackpa and also freedom.
Mm.
But we'll hold freedom on this other hand. But now let's talk about Jackpa. Now, a lot of young artists now, young dancers, measure one of Jackpa as a way of success
Achievement.
and achievement. And we've seen over the years the things that you've done. You know, we can trace success by the people that have worked with you and the people that have the people that followed you, your followership, right? So now for you, I wouldn't want to ask what is success to you in that regard, because I know that you have successfully created or molded or led amazing young people who are doing fantastic work in their spaces right now. So now, for us now as young dancers um who wants to be successful, who is thinking in that regard. So is Jackpa, or probably, okay, let us say Jackpa, going to create as an excuse, because this is what young dancers now are using now. We'll go there, have an idea, and come back. And to them, that's success. So is that an idea you want to support?
Okay, so first and foremost, human beings are migratory by nature. I mean, when they gave birth to Jesus, they had to take him out of that space to save him. They took him away.
Wow.
So migration is normal. It's normal. The essence, the reason for migrating is now the next question. You know, um, young people, see, it is the definition of wealth, achievement, like you rightly said, where your achievement is not in how many places you've been to. There are grandmothers in the farms, if you go to the villages, filled up with wisdom. There are farmers, our grandfathers. They know the language of the earth. So they plant those yams and plant those maize, and those maize grow up, and then they harvest, and then they turn them to flour and turn them to the food that we eat and all of those things. It's wealth, you know. So migration is not a crime. It's a human thing. When you feel like I'm going to thrive better if I go to that end, but it is the deception behind it that I find confounding. Because you know that some 500 years, 200 years ago, they were forcing your ancestors to go to that space. They call it slave trade. And I said, don't call it slave trade. My teachers taught me that. It's not, trade is when I bring something, then you pay.
Yeah.
But when your trading partner comes and everybody scamper into the forest, say, hey, they don't come, everybody run away. That's invasion. So they used to come, and it was a trade, it was business. They will come and steal people. So it wasn't, they would take people forcefully and ship them to America, to Europe, to all the places we are running to today, and then make them work. And the same thing is what is going on now. We're also rushing to the same place. In fact, now nobody's looking for you. You go through Mediterranean Sea. That sea has been fed with the souls of young
So
people,
yeah.
because wealth has been redefined. Young people are under pressure. They want to ride the latest cars. They want to. When you choose to define your own wealth, then that's when you're going to have a bit of contentment. You're not likely going to have everything. I'm not even after everything. I just want to be comfortable. I want everybody around me to be comfortable. I don't want everything, because we cannot have everything. Everything we are proud of today, our children will laugh at them. Everything you use person do money ritual for, say because you won't buy that car, they become antique. People will laugh when they say iPhone 16. Your children will be like, how, dad or grandpa, how are you using this? So why can't we look for something more, something that counts? That's why you see, I mean, let me divert a bit
Okay.
of digression. So they say, I'm a Yahoo boy. I don't do Yahoo. MAGA don't pay.
Hmm.
And I'm asked, have you taken a pause to ask yourself who the real MAGA is?
Hmm.
I am the MAGA. I'm so brilliant that I can convince someone miles away to part with their money.
Mhm.
And so they send that money to me.
Hmm.
And so what do I do when I make that money? I don't buy farmlands. I don't buy acres of lands and say, you know what, I'm going to have cassava plantation. I'm going to have one for guinea corn. I'm going to have this. Because once I have all of those things, then I'm able to employ my brothers who are in the village and my sisters. I'm going to create industries. I'm going to buy sewing machines. I'm going to make my friends that are interested in shoemaking. I'm going to buy all of this. No, I'm looking for the latest wristwatch that I do not produce. Where do I get it from? From where? I want to buy the latest car from there. The phones from there. So the MAGA is the one. So that other guy is just investing in you, and that you're returning the money to them because they need to get all of these products out of their space. No matter how complex you want to explain it, it's as simple as that. If you do not listen, there's a society, there's a climb receiving everything that you are making. They are not even making, they are receiving everything, processing it, and selling it back to you. And you say that's progress? And you say you're not the MAGA. I used to tell stories of those days when we started my company, Crown Troop. We were looking for rehearsal space. And so we went to one young guy, a good guy, I lived in Bariga all my life. So and Bariga is a coastal community like Oworo. So you're surrounded by Egun, Ilaje people. One Egun guy came to meet us that time. His name is Paul. Said he wanted to join us. I was looking at Egun. You want to come and join dance, young, vibrant city boys, because we mock them, say, Egun. And then he came to join us. Of course, we had no rehearsal ground. So he would take us in his canoe and take us to the middle of the river, somewhere around the Oworo. It's an island because he's a fisherman, so he knows where those islands are. So he said there's a place where we can be rehearsing in the middle of the river. And I'll tell you the truth to God. And this guy will put us in the canoe and take us there. But there are instances where the guy will smell the air and say, Ojoma low. He will smell the air and say it's going to rain.
Wow.
And it will rain. He will smell the air and say, this rain is not going to fall. Let's go. And it will not fall. So that guy already knows all of those things without studying meteorology. And then he knows how to throw his fish. I mean, his nets to catch fishes that I feed on. But I'm the big boy because I did University of Lagos. I'm the one that knows everything. I have access to University of Lagos. And blah, blah, blah. I do all of those things. But this is the guy we all depend on. But the tragedy is that this same guy, when he catches those fishes, we sell those fishes, make some money from that, and then go out and as status to prove that he has arrived, he has made achievement, or he is successful.
Wow.
Go and buy sardine
I don't
and geisha. So
I don't understand.
So that's exactly where we are. You understand? You are a fantastic dancer. Those guys are not fools. When they allow our dancers to come in, they know why. They know you are dripping gold and diamond. But instead, I will tell you something, and this is arguably it can be. It's my truth.
Okay.
Anybody can argue it. Oworo community, Bariga community, no be Banana Island, no be VI, no be Ikoyi, Oworo and Bariga. Those two communities have produced young dancers that have gone all over the world and they're back in their hoods. That for me is success.
I think that's a fact.
That for me, more than any other community. And when I say community, I'm talking of eyebrow areas. When those ones go, they go. These guys rely on their dances alone. They will do the dance, they will go all over Europe and then they come back to their hood. And I'm looking at them, and that's, my brother, is my pride. That for me is the wealth that make people think people like us are crazy. Because when they ask at your age, what you don't get, you know, get car, never build mansion. I look at them, I'm laughing. You see what is going on? Transformation is going on. 30 years ago, Bariga used to be one of the 9 blighted areas in Lagos. When you mention Bariga, everybody will run.
Yeah.
I
heard that story.
It used to be a den. Bariga, that's where we grew up, on the streets. All of a sudden now, Bariga is a cultural space, and they are not dancing at the level we danced. The young people now are doing amazing stuff. They are picking topics in life, and so when people get, young people of nowadays, it's the one you know. You know, go and sit down and see thinkers, those who will take up. My fear is that they don't lose hope. My fear is that they form a community where they define what success is. You need to tell yourself, what is success? Success don't be the number of countries where you don't go. Success na waiting you use your life achieve. Success na waiting they no fit chop finish. You eat it and it will still remain there. But if it can be counted, it doesn't count.
Woo! I also let us sink in. Wow. Okay, now, bruh. So now, on the other hand, now, like I said before, I held this one with I held on this hand when you talked about freedom. I think the mistake I did was to prepare questions for you, and I think I'm wrong in that regard. So now I don't think this is even working anymore. But you mentioned something that, and then you said freedom. Now, I know that right now, if there's anything that the young people want more, is freedom, and part of the institutions, so to say, I hate to use that word institution, part of the structures that has been made available for young people does not completely give that as an option to them. So now, how can we explain, or how can we let these young ones see that freedom is like the only opportunity to actually thrive and become? Well, I mean, I said that because I'm someone who watch football a lot, and let's sometimes you just see this coach look at the bench and just call one 17-year-old boy and say, get up, get your boot and start to jog and get ready to come in, and you see the coach telling the young player, I want you to give me just one goal. And the player goes into the pitch and score. Like one happened last week, Arsenal against one team, and everyone was looking like it was blocked. Then the coach just called this young guy, he's 16. I said, get on that pitch and give me that one goal. And the guy get on and he scored the goal. And the guy went back to his school, and the whole school made up this pathway, and they were clapping for the guy, and the school were like, woo, our young teenager.
That's the background. I didn't know.
Yeah, yes, that's the background of the story. So now I understand. Now you can see that child might have been there looking for that one opportunity to actually make that move. But right now we have a stiff and strong structures and institutions that will not even want the young ones to try, because we feel like they are too young, they will spoil the path. We feel give them access now, they go scatter around. So for me, because I work with young people, I was able to teach them for a very long time, and I could sense that this conversation about freedom with young people is not negotiable. And this is the same thing that the institution and the structures want to negotiate with them, how to free them. So what's your take on that?
Freedom itself is a bondage. Because when responsibility is heaped on you, then you're not free. Because freedom comes with responsibility. Typically, when you have a car and you drop your car key.
Okay.
You want to leave the house and you drop it. Say, bro, your brother or your friend, you can use it anytime. That's a responsibility. That person has the freedom to use it, but not the freedom to crash it.
Okay.
So when we eulogize freedom, I like to explain to us that do we understand that freedom is a responsibility? You get to a stage in life where there's no mama or papa to tell you what to do. That's the time you can go and get drunk and smoke as much as you want, nobody to stop you. And sleeping in the gutters and all of those things. That's freedom too. I want to be myself. You understand? So that's one part of it. That freedom comes with responsibility. But what's the definition of freedom? Nigeria gained independence in 1960. What about liberty? Because when you are not dependent on people, it means you make your own cars. You make what you eat and you eat what you make. Is that the case here today? So I take that to young people. When people are scared of giving young people the opportunity, I mean, for me, it's crazy. Let young people take it, make their mistakes, learn from their mistakes, because we all went through it. But when they choose not to, you see, the things you'll be saying today, just watch yourself sometimes. You know that you heard these things before. Some 30 years ago, 25 years ago. They're saying these children of nowadays. Now you're saying the same thing, these children of nowadays. So there's a tendency to be scared. What are these guys going to be able to do with it? Because, hey, if I'm going to give you the betting, I need to know what information you have. Because men, you are going to be my leader. It is not a question of negotiation. That coach that refuses to put you on the pitch is not going to be there forever. The only tragedy is that if he lives for 1 million years, which is impossible, you are not getting younger too. That's the only tragedy that may be there. But the alternative ways for me, why don't you break down those barriers? Or, and how can you break it down? Not physically, through violence. Why don't you go and form your own pitch with your own players? It is difficult. It sounds crazy, but you cannot be normal and make anything happen. You have to be crazy. You have to be convinced so much in what you intend to do, what is in you, that you are willing to run out of the reserve bench. You see somebody, a good player, just get injured, and say, this is your opportunity, just run in. I hope there will be that moment where the referee would slip off for 30 seconds, and I mean the coach will slip off for 30 seconds, and the referee would miss it, and I just allow you to play. And before they realize it, who put this very boy there? And before they see it, you score goals, you change whatever is going on there. They're going to sit back and be like, I made him. They are going to ask the referee, why did you let him go? He said, I thought it was necessary to let him go. I thought that it was going to change something. That's why I allowed him to go. Everybody will latch up to your success. So sometimes when you're confident about it, my parents did not agree that I should go into the art. So I wasn't the average, good, nice child. I was that kind of child that when people in my school days, if you want to make examples of bad people not to work with, it was pointed at people like us. I grew up in Bariga. I moved with all sorts of people, but there was something that just says to one that at a point in your life, you need to decide what you want to be. That is freedom. So that's one side of my life. But when my parents say this, I dare not look at my father. I was raised by a soldier, with all the discipline. Now ask me the job. Now my papa carry me go police station for my life.
What?
Never, ever. My papa carry me go Olosun police station for Mushin. Me they chop tear gas for house. No be police fair give me tear gas. Now inside my house.
Wow.
My father was a soldier, so I was raised by that kind of person. So you don't come back home and tell him what you want to do. But when it came to the arts, I crashed the gate. I broke it open. I gave myself freedom. I knew that if I failed, that was it for me. So I wasn't prepared. So the world didn't know what was coming. And I know there are many young people like that. So when you ask your friends that that know me, if they say, pressure at home, I say, if I advise you, your parents will want to kill me. Because if they pressurize you, pack your bag and leave the house. Don't come back a failure. Because when you pack your bag and leave the house, that's freedom. But freedom comes with responsibility. You cannot come back a failure. You need to prove to them that what you've chosen to do is the right thing. You need to make them feel proud that they gave birth to you. That you choose to become something that your parents will be ashamed of, and they come and bail you today and tomorrow. Take responsibility. It's just not theirs, because they are orphans who made it in life. So young people should create their own. I saw one of the in one conversation by my young friend Kudus. Said, say I don't know how to dance, so I created my own kind of dance. I said, Kudus, the Chris, as good as you are in dancing. He said, no, he said that's what you did too. Create your own, but make it good. Make it good. It's a responsibility that you say, you know what, I'm starting something new. You see, all this that you're doing, this podcast, this space, and all of those things, 20, 30 years ago never existed. Nobody would have thought it would be possible. You have to go to, if NTA does not endorse you, you are finished. But look at one crazy person started it, and it has worked. So when people are clamoring for freedom and change and all of those things, I want to ask, what information do you have? So you must know that, hey, this thing that I want, this change, what kind of change am I looking for, and how am I going to effect that change? Because I can see clearly that my driver, the man holding the steering, does not know where he's going. He's just going around. But I have an idea of where we're going. It's not that you don't even know the place. You go and grab the steering and then you throw everybody off. That's why they condemn people, have the tendency, the audacity to condemn young people. Any society that is going to make it, your biggest investment is in young people. Because no matter what, every child that was born today in 30 years, in 30 years' time, so add 30 years to your years, you'd rely on that child. If you do not put everything on that child, your 30 years time is a preparation for serious suffering. Not that you will not have your mansion and all the prisons that we create for ourselves when we say the illusion of being wealthy. What is wealth here? You steal enough, then you build mansions, then you put barbed wire, and you carry it and you guide yourself and all of those things. The criminal that you created is also going through the same thing. Is in a prison yard with barbed wire and all of those things. So what's the difference between the two of you, the rich man in his friend's apartment and the prisoner in prison? It's the same thing because everybody is a prisoner of something. So when serious societies invest in children, you don't say, nah, picking with that. If you love yourself, that's where you should be focused on. So if you're not producing the right set of young people, thinkers who will take over from you, when it comes to a time, we're going to sit down like this, and those dancers and artists that went through us, we create stuffs. I'll be like, I wish I was 20 years younger. I would have done better. No, because you didn't give them the right discipline. You were praying to be liked. Ask any young person that worked with me. I don't want you to like me. The only thing that can make you like me is, let me see, discipline. See, I was raised by a soldier. But when you, after years, you're going to come back and say, oh, because I know I rely on you. I'm nothing without you. So now if you call me to come and do some works, I know who to call. I just do pap. Hey, value where you did. I get one work somewhere. Boom, it's done. Everybody say, Adefila. No, it's not me. It's that guy with something going on here. Because I've seen it. Imagine if we shut all the doors and say, now we go there. That's why many of those who did that are suffering today. And the suffering never starts. So a wise society must invest in young people, and young people must know the responsibility on their shoulders that, you know what, you're a boy today, you're going to be a man tomorrow. You're a child today, you're going to be a father or mother tomorrow. So you must be prepared to know the kind of contribution you want to put to the society. No be person born those one where they carry gun, they kill people all around. No be person born, armed robbers and all of those things. No be parents born them. Yeah, so that's their contribution. And if you see those who are trying to do something positive, that's the contribution of their parents to the society. So the earlier we started redefining what wealth is, what success is. Success, somebody is there, they get to there, you never go anywhere. But that's where he keeps teaching people the right thing, how to do the right, invest in his life. He doesn't have enough to eat, and you look down at him and you praise that one that you don't know the source of his wealth, who comes around and lavish, foreign things on you and buy Bone Street and all of this, and you say that's the right person. In that kind of society, you ain't going nowhere. So when we redefine what wealth and success is, and then we are okay. And it's about values, and nobody, not any one person, can have all the information. Not me. I be learner. I be picking. So we all look around us and learn from what we can see and try our best to be the best you can. I tell young people, I say, if you think I'm doing anything wrong, don't tell me. Show me. Just show me. When it is your turn, let me see something. Oh, then we look at it and say, see you, that's my opportunity where you get that time. Where you misuse. Now this boy gets, see what they can do. And I've seen that's the only way to teach elderly people. To teach adults to know that, you know what, you didn't do that. We grew up when I said we were looking for the other space. We had to go in the middle of a river. And then God will give you the opportunity. And I will see you enter a canoe that you want to go. No, I have one space in my place. Come and dance your dance. That's the only way I can tell those people who made me go into the middle of the river. That's the only way I can correct them. I cannot, my culture does not even allow me to say, nah, you people are useless. That's not the way African youth fight through, what we can produce.
Well, thank you so much, sir. So, wow.
No, we're not even finished the talk today, so that we can
I know. But there are just some questions that I just want us to touch. Now talking about leadership. Now we have young people who are growing into that space of becoming leaders, whether they like it or not. They have positioned themselves unknowingly, to be in those positions. Now, from your years of experience and the things that you've done, we can tell, we know the proof of your works. They are all there. that you are a good leader and you're still leading. In fact, you're the president of the Guild of Nigerian Dancers now.
Yeah.
So, and we were all happy when he heard that. Oh, thank God. Well, thank God. Nice. So that's good news for us. So now, as aspiring young leaders, not leaders of tomorrow, we're talking about leaders now.
Yeah.
So what are the values that you can say that we should put in place, or the things that we can also try? Because these blueprints, I feel like the only way to get them or understand them is to follow the ones that have led well. I mean, there's a saying that said, if you don't know how to follow, you will never know how to lead. So, what are the things that we should take note of as young leaders? What are the things that we should try and look out for, so as to also lead well and not just start well, but start well and also finish well as young leaders?
Young leaders should just learn to learn. The first thing you want to learn how to do is to learn. Learn how to learn. And how do you learn? Learn those things that you will never do. And learn the things that you do better. And learn the things that you want to be like this. So it's not everybody that is older than you that is probably wiser than you. Because they make some wrong decisions. Learn from that. That's this decision where this guy make. See what it cost me as a person. Learn how to be like, this person is doing it right. Let me stay connected. It's not a question of now my time. It's not your time because the person is there. You are the one ruling, but learn from. That's why you see, go and check those Western military. It's when the soldiers, when you rise to the rank of a general and then you retire, retirement does not mean you are out of. You are there, they are consulting you. So when there's going to be Gulf War, the second Gulf War, you know, there was a time Iraq was invaded, I think 1990, I can't get the years correct. That was the first one. Then another invasion.
One,
so they will go and call those old people, say, that time, how now do It's not a question of shutting them out and say, now our time now, now our time. No, that's not the way to go. And that's what I see about young people. That's what I never let happen to me. So I am fired. I am trained by young people.
Wow.
Yes, man. You see, when they say, oh, and leader of the guild, and president of the Guild of Nigerian Dancers, when I saw people say, oh, you're the leader, and they show me that kind of, oh, we believe, oh, that thing will break my leg. Oh, God, this guy believes so much in me. God, help me not to fail. So where am I going to go to? I just look behind me and I see young people doing dynamics, and I go and meet them. I beg, come help me, okay? I beg, come help me. So everything, if God has done anything, go and check. If we will tell you the truth, now one young person organize that for us. They know the language, they know they have the technology, they have everything. You know, of course, I have mentors. I was trained by great people. They didn't give me much, they gave me values. They let me know that, you know what, if you have values, you have everything. So they right from my mother, who taught me not to go and watch TV in another person's house. I know one here waiting the Chinese film, they sound like. You cannot go and check what they are doing in that house. Stay in your own space. So right from my mother to the teachers that trained me in school, the teachers that raised me, all of them amazing people. What they kept putting in my head, values. I was at a point looking, see my mate, now that guy don't come out, don't go make money, this and that. And then they say, again, stay focused. Stay focused. You understand what I'm saying? So they should know that whatever, and their time is so short. The young people, those leaders are there today. You know, their time is very short. It's as short as they should just look at themselves. Look at themselves 20 years ago. It's like yesterday. If you think about memories of things that happened, you know, like yesterday, 20 years is just boom, tomorrow. So that time is very, very short. But there's a tendency to think that we have all the time in the world. You don't have all the time in the world. Very soon, I go just yesterday, they call you old school. You know, I was there. I just one day decided call. Yes, now they're calling. They say Wizkid is a legend. You know, Davido is a legend. Olamide legend. See, but now so they call them so as a legend that time. But these guys are legends though, because they've been around for over 10 years. 10 years was a lifetime for me.
Wow.
Yes, now when I was 10 years, if you tell me anything about 10 years ago, I'm going to look at you like, okay, you're talking about what happened in the Bible during the days of Adam and Eve and Noah and all of this. That's how it sounded like. But today, so just find out that one day you wake up and they will tell you the living legend, Portable. That's when you know that it don't happen. You know, those kids are asking you like, who is possible? What did you do? They're asking you that. So which kid was a musician? They're asking you like,
Well.
what? So the time is so short.
Mm.
So learn to learn.
Mm.
That's all.
Mm.
And what are those things you learn to learn? Learn to learn the things that you would not do. Don't waste your energy on condemning. It has happened, it has happened.
Mm.
Learn to learn the things that you do and learn to learn yourself. Who are you? So when you know that as a leader, because if you don't one thing leaders need is you need to have love of people. When you love people, it will condition the way you reason. But if it's about me, about fame, about yourself, at the point it will reflect. And you are not going to, and don't try and be loved by everybody. You are not sliced bread or jollof rice. Just make sure that when you wake up tomorrow, you don't feel bad that, and I stopped that guy from making progress. And I may disturb that guy. And I may not let that you can go, you know, have little regrets. There will be regrets. Let's not deceive ourselves. We are not God. Even they say, according to the Bible, they say God look us. Say, in regrets in creators. God, perfect God. Talk less of we and our, you know. So it is understanding what the people ahead of you did that they didn't get right, what they did that they got right, and what you think you can do. The end result is right. Get it right.
The end result is right. Get it right.
Yeah, because right is always right, and wrong is always wrong. But the two of them live together. That's another philosophy. We talk some other time. They work together. They are together. You can't be. The two of them work together. It's yin and yang. It's TBT. That's what Yoruba calls it. TBT. They work together. Darkness and light. They work together. So you can't be perfect, but embrace your imperfection. Admit it, and move forward.
Okay, so let me just ask you this one. This one might kind of like put you off balance for a bit.
Thank you.
Have there been times where, like during your time of leading, where for your mind, say, Omo, I messed up for this one with this person?
Almost all the time.
Did you apologize?
I don't know how to apologize.
So how do you make amendments to key back that relationship you've had with that younger person?
Feeling bad is my punishment. Because see, it's not you to punish. See, when you do a bad thing, now you go first catch yourself. So I tell my people, I say, listen, I hate to say sorry. So I don't like doing things that make me say sorry. But yes, if it so happens, the punishment where I don't give myself, you can't give me, you will pity me. There's no denying it. It's about you and your life and your future, and you're asking yourself. And I was raised by, I lived in my hometown. I lived in the village between the age of 7 and 10, where I said I was going with masquerade. Yeah. So my grandfather was a farmer. And what's the philosophy of a farmer? You harvest what you harvest. Yeah. So whatever I want, I must harvest it. That's my worry. Hellfire is not my worry. It's this thing where I do where nobody see me. Where I do for secret, where nobody see me. God, please pity me. I want to have less of that in my life. That's my own quest. Do you understand? So there have been instances where one makes mistakes that one is not proud of, decisions that you're not proud of. And I do that all the time because when you take it with art, I don't know, I be just me. That's why my navigation towards young people is very natural, because young people are really crazy. Now they craze very well. And because I live in that realm of craze, I enjoy them, because that's where I'm. So I'm still a baby at heart. They say, you know, say you don't old pass this one. I say, no, they old. I may be counting numbers in years, but my heart and my imagination, I'm just enjoying what is happening here. And that's why it's easy for me to work with you, because you can't work with me and be afraid of bringing up your ideas. I thrive on your ideas. I know I cannot do anything without you. That's the way God designed it. So when those instances happen, the grave mistake is to create excuses. It's a mistake, because they no catch you. And they create excuse. No, don't deceive yourself, because it's about you. Ultimately, it's about me. It's about my happiness. It's about what makes me feel fulfilled when I'm done, when I'm alone on my own. What makes you feel good? That's nothing, because you can be doing the right thing and the whole world will condemn you.
Absolutely.
Are you going to say you want to change? But you know your heart of heart that this thing that these guys are doing is not the right thing. We should go through this hard way, because this hard way will ultimately, and if they slow us down, everything. truth, no dey find supporters club. So if you believe you're doing the right thing, stick there, and you may be lucky that tomorrow people realize, oh God, forgive us. If they can kill Jesus, who are you? So you understand what I'm saying? So yeah, I've done regrettable things. I've made wrong decisions. You know, I can say sorry. I don't like saying sorry. The punishment I give myself, I don't think anybody can give me. You know, I don't think so. And this is you bearing your heart, remembering the philosophy of farming, that what you sow, you reap.
Yeah.
It's powerful. It's scary. It's the scariest thing on earth. That what you sow, you reap. That there's no escape. They make fear catch me. They make fear catch me.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Adefila. Thank you so much. A lot has been said. That's why I said initially in the beginning, like, get your pen and paper and jot things down, because a lot has been said on this podcast, and there's no angle I want to come in from with my questions that he has not touched. In fact, even the ones that I've not asked, from the many things that he has said, he has touched it. So as he is speaking, I'm positioning myself to see where can I go. But before I think good here, boom, he has answered the question. So there's no point. So what we'll do is that we'll kind of like create another meeting again for Mr. Adefila to come again on the podcast. Remember, this is a podcast that has been created, designed for we creative as dancers to have someone like this speak to us in the way we can see and hear all the things that we've been aspiring to hear from him. So thank you so much, Mr. Adefila, for your time.
Pleasure.
I cannot thank you enough. Thank you so much. And this is where we draw the curtains right now for the OffBalance podcast on this episode with Mr. Adefila. So see you on the next episode, and bye.